Hi traders, welcome to the weekly Forex forecast for the 9th of June. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend and a very warm welcome. Delighted to welcome you to the weekly Forex forecast for next week. And first of all, congratulations on the pound yen move. A lovely move into this demand area here on the advanced pro charts, and you can see that all the buyers are in on the left on the daily chart and heading for 198.65. Congratulations. The Canadian yen, congratulations, big fat buy signal on the left, as you can see, coming into demand and headed north, and another 82 pips there. Aussie yen, congratulations if you traded that as well. Notice the blue zones, these are very high liquidity zones which you can use with the buy signal into the advanced pro charts. Another profitable there. New Zealand yen, euro yen, you can see the pattern emerging. I'll be covering these in the next few minutes. Swiss yen, so a lovely move into demand. So these demand areas are fantastic ways to get into the move. Just wait for the price to come down into the demand, wait for the reaction, wait for the buy signal, and then go along. You can, of course, have a 3 times risk to reward. Let's see what's going on in the markets for this week and look at the DXY is the first one we're looking at. We've had the non-farm payroll figures and the dollar did a rally on the back of that from demand. So we can see on the left, however, that the price is in a downtrend with all the sellers in. So I think this is temporary. I think there is a sell zone up here, and I think that we're going to see some kind of reaction into this week, giving us the opportunity to sell in the US dollar and giving us opportunities to buy the euro dollar, buy the pound US dollar, etc. if that does happen. Yen futures fell, but look on the left now. This is not looking particularly good for the shorts here. Have a look at the left chart on the daily, and there is a support line, a very strong support line heading into this area here. There's a wedge formation happening. Let me draw that. So this is the wedge formation. So the price is consolidating actually on the daily chart, but not parabolic. We can see that not all the buyers or all the sellers are in yet. However, I think this could change and give us a buying opportunity on the yen futures into next week. So I think once we get the conversion to the upside, then the price is likely to come into demand here at 68.75 and then do this. If it does that, then we'll be looking to sell all the yen pairs, euro yen, pound yen, etc. Swiss franc futures looking good. All the buys are in on the advanced pro chart. So have a look at this. Price above the 20 simple moving average, and lots of support for this price to go much higher to 124.43, which is this week's target. So we can expect, we've got big, fat, juicy buy signal on the 2-hour chart. So this is going up to the target, 124.43. And that being said, if that does happen, then we'll be shorting all the Swiss pairs into this week. In terms of the, excuse me, in terms of the indices, there's a couple here which are trending, including the Hang Seng. But have a look on the left. This is now hitting a very important supply zone. So in order for this price, that's reached our target from last week's video. Now heading for 124.767. However, there is a little bit of an order block here, a supply zone, so the price may come down a little bit before it breaks higher. You don't really want to be buying this into a supply zone. Not ideal. Aussie 200, congratulations if you had this trade. A beautiful buy signal down here, and all the buys come in above the 20 simple moving average. All you do is simply buy it on there, put your stop below the previous low on the daily chart, and then just let it go. Let it go. So that to there is 714 points. Congratulations. Now we're seeing the price head into the target from last week's weekly Forex forecast, 8583, just about to be hit. So we just have to wait and see where the indices take us now. unusual this to see the silver beautiful buy signal here on the advanced pro charts off of demand. A fantastic move, much higher, but it didn't actually come back at all, unlike gold on Friday. So this is quite unusual. So I think if we are going to see some kind of reaction here on silver, we've got a sell signal here on the advanced pro chart, so there is a possibility the price is actually going to come down. You don't want to be buying it now because of this situation. I suspect what's going to happen into this week, if this is going to continue up, we're going to see this price down into the buy zone, into this zone here, $34.50, and then go up to back up to $36. Congratulations VIP members on oil. If you traded oil into the buy zone on the 2-hour chart, beautiful move and a buy signal heading for target. Now the target here has been hit for the weekly Forex forecast on the daily chart. So coming into supply zones, you don't want to be buying it into there. You've got to wait your turn. Actually, let's go into gold a little bit. Gold. So we had a little bit of a sell-off on gold. I did expect the bounce on Friday, but it didn't occur. So we need to look a little bit closer to this. Now, the situation is still very bullish on gold. As you can see, all the buyers are in on the daily, and it's holding on to these support lines here at 33.00 pretty much. As you can see there, that convergence area there, 33.00 is going to be an interesting point to see. There could be a bounce into that area there. There are areas of interest which are 32.44, 32.50 is interesting, but for me the gold on steroids software is going to tell us everything once we get going into next week. So I think we're still looking at bullish momentum. This was the story on Friday after the NFP. There was not much going on at 1:30 as soon as the news come out, but after about 3 p.m. it decided to fall, and I think we're going to have to wait and see where this goes now. I think it will go along again for a safe haven into next week. We'll have to wait and see. Euro dollar, because the DXY rallied a little bit on the news on the NFP, then the euro dollar fell. If you traded that from here, then this would have hit your target really nicely. Now we have to wait and see. Now have a look on the left, so we can see that the price is bullish. All the buyers are in above the 20 SMA. So once we see that, beautiful buy signals, then we have to presume it's going higher. Now hitting a very important supply zone, 114.83, last week's weekly Forex forecast. So congratulations if you bought it on that buy signal. And so we do expect the price to go higher. The next level up is 116.71 and 118.79. Now what has to happen in order for this to rise and break those supply zones? The dollar has to weaken much lower. So we just have to wait and see where the dollar goes into this downtrend here. If it breaks 98, it then opens up 94.90. So look out for that. This could be some very nice moves in terms of the euro dollar. So getting closer to the market, we can see that the price is moving down into a potential buy area, into 113.20, which I prefer to see rather than this one here, because that will take out all the stops and then you'll see a rally into the euro dollar into next week. Our initial target, short-term target, is 114.86. Pound USD is not trending. Well, it is trending, sorry. Not all the buyers are in. However, I think it won't take much for this to become a parabolic trend. As you can see, price fell on the fact that the dollar rose on Friday, but I think it's temporary in the long term. And the price target for this week on the pound USD is 136.99. into the supply zone. Beautiful buy signal here on the left. You can, of course, just simply buy it and then hold. Aussie USD. This is not ideal because it's moved into the supply zone. We have to wait. However, you could find that you have a temporary trade here. Big, fat, beautiful buy signal here up to 65.30 if you want a short-term trade into Monday morning. Talking about next week's news, we've got a few things going on Monday. That's last week. That's no good. We can see that Monday there's not much going on in terms of news, so it will probably be low volumes. We don't really want to be trading during low volumes, but we'll see how we go. Tuesday, no news. On Wednesday, big news in terms of CPI data. Inflation data is really important, and that affects the markets, as we know. Thursday, again, more inflation data out from the US, PPI data as well, and employment data. So that's going to be important, and so on. So inflation data is all about inflation next week. So sit tight, guys. Sit tight. We're going to see some possible action. Probably not early in the week, but that Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to see something going on. Now into the Kiwi. We can see clearly now the uptrend into this, and the target for this week is 61.10. However, there's a much bigger target here if the dollar is going to collapse to 63.36. So hold on to your horses here, guys. This could be big. Coming back down into these demand area, not quite there. But we do expect the price to reverse and go back up. Short-term target, if you want to use it, is 60.80, and then on to 61.10, and then a much bigger target up here of 63.36. So look out for that. It's going to be lots of trading opportunities. Lovely setup. Now the US Swiss is in a downtrend, of course, because the dollar is in the long-term downtrend as well. And the Swiss franc futures look like they're getting ready to rally as well. So this could be a fantastic move here. Heading for 80.88 on the left on the daily chart. However, I think this could be a much bigger move south. A continuation below that, if it breaks 80.36, opens up a much bigger number, depending on how the dollar reacts in the next week or maybe two. So nice move here, as you can see, down to target of 81.64. However, price cycle is good. Not all the sellers are in, but that's okay on the lower time frame. That takes a bit of time, especially during low volumes, but looks very nice trade indeed. Now the US Canadian is in a downtrend, of course, because the DXY is in a long-term downtrend. I do expect a little bit more pullback up into a sell zone. You can see that here. I squeeze this up. This area here is going to be very interesting. If it comes up into this area, I will be looking for a sell, but will be waiting for confirmation before we go short on this one. US yen is not trending. If you bought it on Friday, congratulations. Nice bullish momentum there on the short-term trade. I'm on the hourly chart, should be on the 2-hourly chart. So yeah, there was your buy signal here. Notice how this block here appears, and it gives you the Fibonacci retracements from the previous move. So this automatically gives you the 618. A 50% and a 38. So it's a nice little bit of a grid there, if you like. So buy signal, beautiful buy signal, and it went up. But then you can see on the left that it's in a long-term downtrend. So this is temporary. This was based upon a rally on the DXY on Friday. New Zealand Canadian looks like a really nice setup into Monday, and we can see this here. Beautiful move here, buy signal. So we're just waiting. We will be buying into the New Zealand Canadian, and it's going to head for 82.80, 82.80 if you want a short-term chart, or 83.40 into that area there. Just looking at the continuation of these patterns here. So in my watch list on the right, I have red flags and green flags. So red flag is a continuation pattern, parabolic trend to the downside. As we can see here on the pound New Zealand, this is expected to go down, but only temporarily. We can see there's some support lines here and a major support line here. So we could find that the price comes down somewhat, 22,300, and then we could see that price come back into the uptrend from the long-term perspective. Aussie New Zealand is looking really nice. A nice rally going on here, which is great. Correction in play on the 2-hour chart. Let's see what the 4-hour chart looks like. Yeah, so that's likely to see this price continue up into the sell zone in the next few days. That will give us a lovely opportunity to get in about 108.36. Remember what I said about the Swiss franc pairs. We will be looking for sales in these areas here. We've got the first part in play on the New Zealand Swiss. We've got the price moving into a supply zone, into a downtrend. You can see that there and that channel. So I think we're going to see this come down quite big, actually, if the Swiss franc decides to rally into next week. No confirmation yet for any trades. We need to see the price action first. Congratulations on the yens. I did predict last weekend in the weekly Forex forecast they would go up, and they did eventually. So congratulations to you, and we can go into the 2-hour chart to see a much clearer picture and a beautiful buy signal here. You don't want to be buying it now because it's into the supply zone on the left. Euro yen. Further upside momentum is highly likely into the euro yen, but you want to wait for the price cycle. This week's target is 165.85, but wait for a pullback. Wait for a pullback. Make sure your price cycle is in the right place. Price cycle is the key to your success. And then all the buyers step in and you're off to the races. So wait for a pullback. I think somewhere around here down here into this area here, 63.50 is highly likely to see another push back up and then head for 165.85. Beautiful charts, actually, these yens. Now, that again, the advanced pro charts tell you when not to buy. And we can see this in the New Zealand yen, can't we? On the left, into the supply zone. Basically, it's hit the target, so you don't want to be in it now. You don't want to buy into a supply zone. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Aussie yen, now this is much more interesting, isn't it? You can see how far away this supply zone is at 95.10. That's going to be your target for this week. Any kind of pullback is highly likely to see the price move up. Pulls back to about 93, somewhere around here. That's going to be very interesting for me. So 93, and you want to see the price cycle come down into this like this. So you want to be buying cheap. Buy cheap and sell high. Buy low, sell high. Canadian yen, congratulations. A beautiful, more big fat buy signal here on the left. And a buy signal here on the right as well. All the way stepped in after the price cycle pulled down, and then the price shot up nicely. Now we have to, again, the cycle on the yens, all the yens is very high, so you have to wait for the pullback and then the next trade. Pound yen, congratulations. Could have had a bit more in this one if you fancied it, but nonetheless, a very nice profit if you traded it as predicted last weekend. And if you're not sure that it's ready, just go into your 30-minute chart. This is your entry on the buy signal. Don't worry about a pullback. And then there is your opportunity to buy. And if you're not sure, then just go into here, and this will tell you that all the buys are in. But to be honest, you've done the analysis from the top down analysis from left to right. And then you can see that this is a fantastic entry to get in. If I line the line up on the left to the right, you can see how accurate that is, pretty much in line with the entries on the buy signal on the left. So a fantastic system. So look out for more buying on the yens. What did I say? Oh, hold on a sec. Let's get back to that. Yeah, so you don't want to be buying the Swiss yen. Euro yen looks good. Actually, this is one of the best ones, so let's switch that off for now. New Zealand yen, no good at all. It's hitting supply. Turn that one off. Aussie yen is a better one. See that? So look out for that. That's one of my favourites for this week. Canadian yen, yeah, that looks good. Supply is right up there, actually. Target 107.68. And the pound yen looks like this has got more room to go up to 198.65. So look out for US Swiss to the downside, US Canadian to the downside. US yen is mixed. Aussie dollar to the upside, New Zealand dollar to the upside, Euro dollar to the upside. Gold, that's interesting. We have to keep an eye on gold. Looks like it's 33.00 is going to be interesting. 32.50 is going to be interesting. And any kind of bounce in those areas, we're going to find some great trading opportunities into next week. Have a wonderful weekend.